So, if I was teletransported back into the time when I looked like this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, I would have wanted to know a few things, so I wouldn't spend so much time second-guessing myself and asking whether I was capable of looking the way I wanted to look. And let's say I'm teletransported back in time and I look like this instead of like this. This is the video I would have wanted to watch to not waste so much time. We're gonna divide the video into 3 little parts: nutrition, exercise, and then rest. And even though I'm not where I wanna be, I'm a lot closer than I was 2 years ago, so maybe this can also help you. Chapter number 1. Nutrition. Nutrition is so very extensive and it can be really overwhelming. So I'm going to subdivide it into 3 categories which I think are the most important things in nutrition, period, point blank. Firstly and foremost, we have calories. 2 years ago, I had no freaking clue what triggered weight loss, so I was stuck for a long time. But weight loss happens for a singular reason, and that's calories. Calories are a way we have to measure energy. We, to exist and to perform basic functions, need calories to live. And if we don't get enough calories for a sufficiently prolonged period of time, we'll just knock out permanently. Like so many people around the world, you know that whole thing of starvation mode?
Oh my gosh, more people need to hear this. When I was eating 1,200 calories a day, I was not losing weight. My body was stuck in starvation mode. I was doing like 2-3 hours of cardio a day and could not lose weight. And I was like 100 to like 98 pounds. When I increased my food and started eating normally, like 3 meals a day, that's when my weight literally dropped. And now I'm able to lose weight eating over 2,000 calories a day.
Ain't real. Like, we have a lot of studies to prove it, but we don't really need a study, you know? You can go to the concentration camps, and then you have this guy who just for a singular year did not eat a single calorie and dropped a lot of weight. Starvation mode ain't real. Okay, so we have calories. What are calories? It's just how we quantify the energy we get from food. And our body, our like actual mass on Earth, needs a set amount of energy throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year to maintain its size. Otherwise, if you give it too much energy, like too much food, too many calories, it'll grow in size. And if you give it less than the calories it needs to just keep its size, it'll slowly but surely and scientifically proven and absolutely decrease its size. In simpler terms, you need X amount of energy per day to keep your size, and anything less than that X amount of energy will help you reduce your size. It's such a simple concept, like calories in, calories out. The less calories you consume, the more you're gonna lose weight and the faster you'll do it, period. It's such an easy thing and simple thing to grasp, but it took me around 1.5 years to understand what the hell people were talking about when they said caloric deficit. So that's why I'm explaining it in a way that I think a 7-year-old could understand it. I hope you understood it. If you didn't, ask me in the comments. I don't bite. And that is the only way you can lose weight. But that caloric deficit doesn't necessarily have to be from just eating less. If you want more on that subject, I have a video. If you want to click on it, you can watch it. When we eat something, we decompose it into their main macronutrients. Macronutrients can be carbs, fats, and proteins. Carbs are the thing we transform in our body into glucose. Glucose is what we in our cells through cellular respiration transform into adenosine triphosphate, which then is used as energy inside our body. Carbs can be labeled as 2 things: sugar and fiber. Carbs are a very long chain of glucose monomers. Can either be alpha glucose or beta glucose. We are not capable of digesting beta glucose, and that is what conforms fiber. Fiber is essential to your diet because it helps with digestion and it promotes a healthy growth of the bacteria in your gut. Fiber basically helps you poop better, so just if you're constipated, try a bit of fiber. Maybe that'll help. Then you have fats. We do need fat. It's not really good to cut out an entire food group out of your diet because you still need it. You don't have to eat a lot of it, but just enough so your body can do the things it has to do. Interestingly enough, this is one reason why I like to have my diet be mainly carbs and protein, is because especially when I'm cutting, is because fat has double the calories than carbs and protein do. For math's sake, let's make it super easy. If you have 1 gram of carbs, that 1 gram of carbs has a single calorie. But if you have a single gram of fat, that single gram of fat will have 2 calories, twice the amount. So when you're cutting, it is recommendable to reduce a bit the fats, since one, they're not as satiating as, for example, fiber is, or as protein is, but they also have double the amount of calories, so you feel less full with double the calories. Lastly, the last macronutrient is protein, which is super important. It's important for a variety of reasons, but when we transform it into amino acids in our body, we decompose it into its main monomers, which are amino acids. We use said amino acids for muscle growth. And if you want a bigger butt or more toned biceps, protein is the thing you need to take care of those muscles and replenish them with sufficient nutrients for them to grow. Protein is essential when you're in a cut. Because when you're in a cut, so in a caloric deficit, you're trying to lose weight. But you don't know where that weight loss will come from. It can come from the fat in your face, the fat in your back, in your triceps, in your belly, in your thighs, wherever, or it can come from lean mass, mostly your muscles. So instead of you becoming toner and leaner, what will happen is you'll be skinny fat. You're still chubby, we're in the places where you don't want to be, so around your waist, your face, your arms, all that shtick. All the places you actually want them to grow could diminish if you're not eating as much protein as you need to keep that muscle size. It's 1 gram of protein per every pound of body weight. So for example, if you weigh 100 pounds, you would be needing to eat around 100 grams of protein per day. So it's not exactly a gram, it's around 0.75 grams to a gram. And that's the macronutrients. Whew. Then you have the micronutrients, which are just the minerals and the vitamins. Vitamins is the thing that when you're not eating sufficient vitamin C, for example, you'll get scurvy. And when you're not consuming enough iron, then you'll get anemia. Basic things that you should be targeting, not so much for your physical appearance, but your longevity, your energy, and your overall mood and health. The next topic, my favorite, is exercise. You actually have 2 stereotypes for what exercise looks like. You have the cardio bunnies, and you think of someone like Chloe Ting. And then you have the muscle mummies, and you think about someone like Lean Beef Patty or Diana Conforti. And if I just absolutely destroyed her surname, I am sorry. I am just a naive Latina trying to learn English. Hi. Hola. But yeah, Chloe Ting exercises are super good, especially for longevity and cardiovascular health and overall just dopamine.
There is no feeling better, I don't think, than the one you get after a long run or a HIIT session where you actually gave it your all, and that dopamine and serotonin and norepinephrine absolutely hits, and you're on top of the world, and you're untouchable, and you're unbeatable, and there's no one better than you, and there is no better feeling than that, and I love cardio.
And you have such a variety of ways to do cardio. You can go for a swim, you can go for a sprint, you can go for a jog, a walk, dressage, tennis, there are many things, like cycling. There are so many ways you can do your cardio, and there are no excuses to disregard the one muscle that is always freaking working and help you distribute everything around your body. And that's the single reason why I think everybody should be doing cardio. But cardio is not the thing that's gonna help you look like all these women, because these women actually weightlift. And recently I've been coaching a few women to help them lose weight completely for free. I just want the experience of being a PT because I think it's really fun. If you want help with that, I'll leave my email in the description. Hit me up. I've been coaching these women, and as we got to progress in losing weight and having actual results, when I try to help them into weightlifting, what I normally hear back is that they don't want to be bulky, they don't want to lose efforts into it, and they rather just, do HIIT cardio, which I think is fine, especially when you're not used to exercising. But you will hit a plateau eventually because the muscle you want, which will help you distribute the fat in a more flattering way, will only come if you pick up the weights. Don't really be scared about it. Like, the men you see on TV that you're actually disgusted by didn't get there just by luck. It wasn't from a singular day of lifting weights. And many of them are on steroids. They inject themselves with testosterone to look the way they look. They're not natty. Natty is just a key term, a niche term to say natural and without drugs. Weightlifting is pretty easy, honestly. It's pretty simple. You only have to nail about 3 things: frequency, effort, and technique. The frequency, especially if you're just starting out, can be as little as 1 time a week, and you'll see an incredible progress in your body. And then we can see in studies an increase in gains from 1 day to 2 by a huge percent, and from 2 days to 3%. A still bigger increase in the gains you get, and then 4 and 5 days, not that much of an increase. For starting out, 1 to 2 days of efficient training is more than enough. Then you have the effort. Effort means going close to failure, but since you're a newbie, you should be going close to technical failure. That means that you can't lift the weight anymore without compromising your technique, when you actually are not really doing the things properly anymore. And with effort, honestly, just means that you're not throwing the weights around, that you're actually having a weight that is hard for you to weight and a set of reps that actually get you close to failure. I should probably do a double click, but I don't have time in this video, so I will go more in depth into it if someone asks in the comment for me to do a video on it, I'll do it. But if not, there are hundreds of videos on YouTube that will explain how to do proper close to failure technique. And then you have the technique, technique is super important to target the muscle you want to do. And technique is also very important to not hurt yourself in the gym, because there are exercises that are the best because they require a lot of muscles to do it. That's called a compound exercise. So, for example, your bench presses, your squats, your lunges, your close grip pull downs, your push-ups, all these things that require more than a single muscle are compound muscles. If you want big muscles and you are starting the gym, these are the things that I would tell you to nail. 1, consistency. It's all well and good if you go 5 days to the gym the first week, but you won't see results if you just go for a week. So what I would do if I was starting out from the get-go again, I would just focus on going every single Monday to the gym for a month or for 3 weeks. And if I can nail that, then I would add another day. So I would really, really, really focus on just getting myself to the gym and moving weights. That is the most important thing. And sometimes we as girls can feel a bit intimidated when you go to the gym and everyone is doing their thing and you feel completely in another space. Am I doing things right? Are people gonna judge me? Everyone starts with their technique absolutely sucking and being incredibly awkward and scared or bothering someone. But just because something is scary and scares you doesn't mean you have to turn around and leave. And if you really want to use the free weights, the first time you go there, you can just grab a plate and you can put it on the floor and you can just use a space and stick it there the whole entirety of your gym session. Just focus on going there and banging good music and having a good time. Maybe smile to people, maybe don't. Just do your own thing. What I would recommend to do is that you get a routine before you go there. You can go into Pinterest, you can go into TikTok, you can search whatever muscle group you want to target, and girls will give you like the exact number of sets and reps and rest between sets that you should be doing. You just copy what they do. You get out of the gym and you feel like you dominated. Like it's your jam. Like you are on the top of the world and like you're a muscle mummy even though you just started lifting for once in your life. Yeah, that's what we're like aiming toward. As the weeks go by and you get more and more comfortable, I would start tracking, because what gets you to actually see gains is something called progressive overload. And that is consistently pushing your muscles more and more so they actually start to grow. So they actually are doing what we call hypertrophy. To do that, what I would do is just grab an Excel and put the exercise in the columns that you want to do, the days, and then the exercises and the days again. And then you put the weeks on the vertical line, on the like lines, yeah. And then you put the sets, the reps, and next to the exercise, you say how many sets you're gonna do for that exercise. And each week, you log in how many reps times how much weight you lifted. And as the weeks go by, you should be aiming to be lifting more and more and more during the weeks. It doesn't mean you have to do 10 kilos, 10 reps, 3 sets for squats in week 1, and then in week 2, double that for every exercise. That can look like just adding a single kilo to the barbell, to the dumbbell, to whatever you're doing, or even just adding a singular rep. That's progressive overload. And as the weeks go by, you should be aiming to having a progressive and linear increase in your overall weight. Oh yeah, this is super easy to understand, so I'm gonna throw it in. An exercise is something that is the movement you will be performing to hit and target a specific muscle. So for example, a bicep curl. This is an exercise. Reps are the amount of times you perform that exercise. So for example, this is 1 rep, this is 2 reps, and this is 3 reps. And then you have sets. Sets are the amount of times you perform 3 reps between rest. So for example, I could do 3 reps, then wait 3 minutes, do 3 more reps, wait 3 minutes, do 3 more reps, and that's 3 sets of 3 repetitions with a 3-minute wait in between sets. Don't do that because you'll see no growth, absolutely. And then last, but certainly not least, we have rest. And that implies a good night's sleep. Sleep not only helps you regulate your hormones so that you will have a stabler mood throughout the day, and therefore discipline will be enabled because you will have a bigger will to actually go to the gym and track your calories and be in a deficit and eat clean and do all these fun things to get the body you want. Sleep not only regulates your mood hormones, but also ghrelin and leptin, which are your hunger and satiation hormones. So if you sleep, but you have a very bad night's sleep, then you will probably wake up feeling more hungry than you would normally be. Besides, your muscles don't actually grow during exercise. They are destroyed, they are ruptured, they are hurt during exercise. And when you sleep is when your body goes to your muscles and repairs them and makes them stronger and bigger, gives them more hypertrophy and more strength to then go to the gym and, be able to actually perform exercise again. So without sleep, you are leaving hundreds of gains in the table, and you are making it harder for yourself to actually lose weight because you will be more hungry. And when you're more hungry, you tend to overeat. And when you overeat, weight loss is harder.